When you want something in life, you have to go get it, even if that means doing whatever it takes to live your dreams. Sometimes we feel like the walls are caving in on us and feel like life is over. But this is life telling you to get back up and try harder. No matter what life throws at you, remember you are a living, breathing human being capable of doing anything you put your mind to. Through my struggles came great success. I never regret any of my hardships or struggles because it made me into the person I am today. My name is Stanley Dawejko Jr., and this is a documentary of my life.
My name is Stanley Dawejko. I live in Philadelphia, PA. Born and raised here all my life. I'm a motivational speaker and author. Doing this documentary, I wanted to give people a basic description of who I am, what kind of work I'm doing. I see myself as being an inspiration to others. After a lot of the different hardships I had in my life, I wanted to get out into the world and try to give back in a sense. Law of attraction played a big part in my life back in 2008, and ever since then I just wanted to help spread the word of positive thinking. A lot of people get it confused with wishful thinking. I think with the reality that we're living in today's day and age, a lot of the kids more or less are not using common sense in the world that we're living. And I think law of attraction is a big factor of what we're doing in life. And positive thinking has a lot to do with it, their thoughts. And I think a lot of the people that are applying law of attraction need to understand that they need to take action in order to change their life. Law of attraction is just one of the many laws that we use in the universe, but the concept of positive thinking is really just when you have bad days, you're really just being a self-coach trying to help you through the transitioning. And that's why I preach, I'm trying to start a movement of live your dreams, because I think live your dreams means something that make a change in your life, whether it's you lost your job, or you're having financial difficulties, or you're going through some sort of a hardship with losing a significant other that you deeply love. But in December of 2007, my dad had tried to take his life. I had rushed up to the hospital to see my father laying on the bed, and the doctor said he's in critical condition, that he slit his wrist and he took a whole bottle of pills. That was probably the time when a big part of my life flashed in front of me. My father was involved in my life a whole lot, but I wasn't really ready to see my father go. I didn't tell my sister and my brother that my father had tried to do this, being 2 weeks before Christmas. Second week of February, I had my grand opening down at my mortgage company, and I had invited my mom and my dad to come down and show support, because we had nice little party with all the employees, and they brought their family and kids, and we were having a face painting. Probably end of February, which is a day I'll never forget. Sunday, February 27th, I got a phone call. It was one phone call that I never wanted to get, but he said that my mom was found unconscious in the bathroom at a after-hours club. And at that point, I had asked him if she was dead. He said he couldn't confirm whether she was dead, but all he knew that she had stopped breathing and she was found unconscious on the floor. Called down there, and they said that they didn't have any records of my mother's name or anything on file, but they had a Jane Doe come in around 4:30 in the morning. I had told my dad to go down to the hospital for a Jane Doe and see if that was, his wife or my mom. And he went down there. I stayed home with the kids, and I had the worst feeling of my life, just knowing, thinking in the back of my mind that I wasn't going to see my mother again. My father came home, and I knew the look on his face, and I knew it was my mom. I guess at that time, that's when my life really flashed behind. My whole life. Seeing my father almost 2 months before that was gone, then see my mom gone. And that's when I really wanted to stay strong and really knew what family meant. Just to see my little sister and my brother when I had to break the news to them, and I knew that we were family, and that I didn't want to put them through what went on with me being older. And seeing all this go down, I wanted to make a better life for everybody. I think some of those days that I look back, a lot of the positive thinking that I did was just really fuel my world with positive words, and it really gave me a different outlook. It gave me different strengths in areas that I had no clue existed. And once I understood the power of thought, it really took my whole reality to a different level. Putting down goals and different dreams that I have, and everything just manifested right before my eyes. And writing my books was one of the biggest reasons of why I wanted to get this out to the world and try to speak amongst people in schools and anybody who I meet. You know, I really am trying to make a good impression and giving some people some inspiration that they can change their life. Exactly why I wrote my book. You know, I had my mom OD. My sister OD'd. I had to take in my brother and my sister, my younger nephew, and I had to take care of him. I had to provide for him. I almost lost my home. I lost my car. I had no money. We had the whole family there. My son Gavin was there. Everything, you know, just felt really good. I got a call around 9:30 from my uncle stating that on the news that they found a girl in her 20s that had OD'd in a house in Kensington, and my uncle started crying and assuming it was my sister. So at that point it put us all in a panic, not knowing what to do because the girl they found was a Jane Doe. As the night went on, I still didn't hear from my sister. I was just assuming she had done this plenty of times in the past and showed up 2 days later as if nothing ever happened. Around 12 o'clock at night, the news that went back on and said if they did confirm was a girl in her early 20s. My uncle called me back and said that, you know, we have to definitely call down the coroner's office to see if it was Crystal or not. So I called down there where they had brought the Jane Doe, and I'd asked the lady that answered the phone. I gave her a brief description. The lady said she couldn't go into any details with me. But I did ask her, I said, did you find an ID or any kind of paperwork? She said the young lady had no ID, but she had Social Security paperwork on her. And I said, can I confirm the Social Security found the paperwork? And that's when she confirmed that that was the paperwork they found. And then I also described her tattoo. And that was basically when we knew it was my sister. You know, to just having her son, which is my son now, Jaden, not knowing that his mother wasn't going to be there for Christmas was something I don't want anybody to go through in life. Again, this is something that really put me on a mission to make a difference, not only in my life, my family's life, but in others. And I know that other people that are going through the same hardships, that I don't want to see that go down. And that's what this is all about. You know, just from the first book I wrote to my second book I wrote, and now I'm doing this documentary, I think it all adds up to one thing. That this is what I'm supposed to be doing in life. Helping others see a different life, a better life than what we are given and living now. I feel that we kind of live in a matrix, that we get to choose our destiny, that we get to choose what kind of life that we truly want to live. But it's just the tools that we're not given. And through the tools that are not given is something that I wanted to help relay in my second book. And that book was called Thoughts, the Universal Code of Creating Your Own Reality. And my book basically went into the different concepts of words and thoughts and understanding the language that we speak to each other, because it's powerful. Our words are powerful, and I believe if my sister and my mother were given these tools at an earlier age, I don't think they would be in a place that they were at.
How's it going? My name is Pete Perez. I'm from Philly. Good friend of Stash. I've known him for about a few years now. A mutual friend of mine had told me a buddy of his actually wrote a couple books on law of attraction. So right away I was like, who is this guy? I have to meet him. It was about 6 years ago. I was an assistant conductor in a local train company, and you know, it was I guess for most people, you can say it was a dream job. You know, I was 21 years old, making a good amount of money. I came up a point in this book where it talked about a visualization process, where you visualize whatever it is that you want, and you ask, you believe, and you receive it. Now, that seems a little, a little far-fetched, but I was like, you know what you gotta lose, Pete? I'm gonna try to attract $1 to myself. I was like, so I know it's that dollar. I want that right top corner missing, ripped. So I went into perfect detail, closed my eyes, envisioned the dollar. I asked, I believed. Now, just had to wait to receive, which is one of the hardest things, I guess you could say, to do, is to receive something that you don't know how you're gonna get it. But so while I was reading my book, I put that out there. Now, mind you, for the first couple days, I'm around looking for that dollar. Where's that dollar at? I know it's coming, so I forgot about it. Went about my day, So the first group of people that come in, they get in the train goes moving. So I look down and I see $1 folded in half. Now, mind you, I forgot everything prior to that. My first reaction, you know how we all are when we see money. We look down like, oh, there goes $1. So I seen $1, hurried up, put it in my pocket. Went about my business. So after I finished collecting the tickets, I go back into the vestibule and I go in my pocket and say, oh shit, I found $1. So I take the $1 out and I went to unfold it, and I noticed that it was just a half $1. It was just ripped. And right then I was like, wait a minute. Ripped corner. I got a ripped the whole entire hat, the whole right half is missing. I'm like, wow. So now, mind you, right there, I wasn't completely sold, but I thought it was a little, funny that 2 days ago I was wanting to track $1, and 2 days later I come across a half $1. I go back into this book. Now I'm not just reading this book. Now I'm into this book. I'm like, I had to find out everything, what this whole book's about. Now as I'm reading, my engineer comes up to me and asks me, hey, Pete, you're reading a book? I was like, yeah, I know, right? So he's like, what are you reading about? I was like, oh man, I'm reading about this book. It's about positive thoughts. You think positive, you can attract positive, you can attract all these things into your life. And he's like, more power to you. I'm not much into that, spiritual thing, what you call it. He's like, more power to you. So I go in my wallet and I show him my half $1. I was like, look, I attracted this. He's like, maybe it's coincidence. So I was like, oh, is it a coincidence? So now, mind you, about a week goes by and a buddy of mine who's also reading the book at the same time as me, we go out to a bar, having a few drinks or whatnot. So we step out to have a cigarette. And I showed him the $1. I was like, look, Kev, I was like, this might be for real. He's like, oh man, great, that's great, buddy. And he asked me, he's like, yo, he told me you should do it again. I was like, you know what, you're right. I am going to do it again. I'm going to attract $1 million to myself. And he was like, no, not $1 million. Try to attract that same exact, the other half of that $1. And I was like, no way. That's impossible, man. There's no way I could attract that other half $1. He's like, is it impossible? And I looked him into his eyes and I was like, you know what, man? I'm going to hold on to this $1 for the rest of my life. If I should ever find the other half, I would dedicate my life to searching the truths about life and go full force with this. And then I shook his hand. So about another week goes by, I go back to work. Now, my engineer, who was previously on vacation, he comes into work. And the first moment we caught eyes, he's like, I have to talk to you. I was like, what's up, bud? So I asked him, hey man, how was your vacation? He's like, my vacation was great, but I found something weird that happened to me earlier today. He's like, my first train when I come into work, I look down before anyone's in the train, and he sees $1 stuffed in the seat. And he's found it pretty weird. So the conductor comes to him and says, oh, you found my prank I've been playing. I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, well, I put that there, I used to have a whole $1, and about a month ago I lost the other half, so I found this half and I'm just getting rid of it today. So he's like, do you mind if I keep this? She's like, yeah, sure. So now mind you, I forgot everything prior that happened before that. So I told him, I was like, you see, now you have to become a believer. I was like, what about a coincidence? Not coincidence now. And then he asked me, he's like, do you still have your other half? And when he asked me that, right then and there, I started getting goosebumps. Like, no way. So I pulled the $1 out and we go try to match it up. Now at first, the rip didn't seem like it matched up. We started reading the serial numbers, and it was the same exact dollar. Now, right then and there was the moment where my whole entire life, my whole reality got flipped, turned upside down. It was just like a movie. That part of the movie was like, I left my body, it was like, and I'm back in time, back at the bar with my buddy. Is it impossible? Can you retract it? And I'm here, and I'm like somewhere in between and stuck in this time warp, and then I pop back up, and right then and there, I knew that the law of attraction exists and that the law of attraction was real.
Our words and our thoughts are more powerful than what we were led to believe. And one thing in my life was that I learned to take action on my thoughts and my dreams and my goals. Most people get stuck. Sometimes we have hardships. Sometimes we have things that happen. But you know, that's just how life is.
Losing it all on my own. I had a heart then, but the queen has been overthrown.